welcome back to the channel everybody, and welcome to the new people viewing if there are any. I was silly enough to ask you guys on a live stream recently which opal I should cut next. I gave you 6 options and you managed to pick the most difficult piece of the bunch. So yeah, I should have saw that coming. So just having a look at it, this is it dry, and all in all, there's a lot of colour wherever you can see opal, but the problem is there's a lot of area where you don't see opal. Sand spots, sand spots, sand spots. It's just a sandy nightmare, this piece. But it has colour. This is a pretty interesting piece in a recent parcel I got from Julian Stavrius, who I believe recently celebrated the birth of his son, so that's quite exciting. Bit of an aside there. I'll just dunk him in some water. So wet, you can see that the colour comes through a little bit better, but I mean, you can't get past the fact that there is sand everywhere. I would say this piece is mostly sand and a little bit of opal. The opal does have colour wherever the opal is, but this is going to be an absolute mission. Bit of an uphill battle. And because of the small channels of sand, I believe that a lot of my diamond bits are going to be too large to get in there. So we're going back. I don't know why I've still kept this set, because it's not the best. But this is the Gem Cuts Beginner's Carver set. I did a review of it a while back. But the bits here are a little bit smaller. This one's been stripped to bare metal now, so that's completely useless. But I've got it written here because I can't remember. So I've got a 180 grit. I did have a 320, but it was absolute garbage and just stripped itself bare. And a 600, so I basically go 180, then straight to the 600 and just spend ages on the 600 when it comes to this set. These I'll probably skip using unless I really need to, and I'll go to the Nova Tips. But yeah, in comparison, you can see here, the Nova Tips are huge, and if I can't get into the sand grooves that I've just cleared out, I'm gonna have to stick with the beginner's kit. So yeah, that's the plan. This might take quite a long time. I don't know if I'll record the whole thing, because it's gonna, I mean, I could possibly do multiple parts, but I think there'll be a lot of boring stuff where I'm just sitting there thinking and looking at it, so I'll try to cut all that stuff out, and we'll just condense this down to a nice quick carving, which is actually going to take me days. So thank you for the selection, guys. Voting is still open for the next piece after this, but yeah, feel free to check out that video and vote on the bottom of it. 1 through 6 are your options. This was number 6. I showed it at the end on purpose, so hopefully people chose something else in the meantime, but no, this one it is. So yeah, let's dive straight into it. can't say it hasn't been fun, but I don't have huge hopes for this piece at this point. So if you look at this, I've basically gone in and done an extreme amount of carving. If I wanted to do this much carving, I would have become a dentist, because this is like a fully rotten tooth. The bottom of it, the bottom and middle, is just fully eaten out, and the sand is going all the way through in these kind of sheets and planes, I've noticed. So up here we've got an actual reasonable piece of opal. So that's that nice colourful end. But here, this sand seems to travel all the way around and all the way through in this kind of sheet-like fashion. So I think if we're going to get anything out of this, it's going to be this piece up here. And in order to get that piece free of everything else, we are going to have to literally just cut through this piece, getting rid of all of this, unfortunately. So basically just got to cut through that line. It's not even that even of a line, and there's still this part here that gets chewed into. But all of this down this end is basically lost. I mean, there's still heaps of sand in there. If I carve away at it, it's just going to completely disappear at this point. There's a tiny bit of colour in a couple sections, like this one here that's attached over here. So maybe, if it wasn't for this sand here, I would probably try to carve underneath that and do a line across here instead, where we go in under that and across over here. But there's still heaps of sand here, and by the time I carve that in, I betcha we would hit this line here anyway. So yeah, it's not great. We haven't really lucked out with something that's incredibly large. I didn't mention before, but I weighed this piece, and it was 12 carats in its rough form. I wonder what it'll be once I get rid of all this bottom end. It's probably, I don't know, if I had to guess, just slicing this end off, we're going to be left with maybe 2 carats, 2.5, and then shaping this and getting this nice is still going to bring it down below 2. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to have to, I don't even know if it's worth slicing. I've pretty much gotten all the way through just with the diamond tips. So I'm just going to take off this bottom piece, and then we're going to get back to carving up this piece. The rest of it is pretty much just sand and rubbish, which, I don't know, it was always a possibility, a strong possibility. So you can't be too disappointed with this stuff. You just roll with the punches, and we're still going to aim to get the best stone we can out of this piece. But yeah, let's get to it. Well, gave it a slice, and this is the only half decent material that we're going to be able to save from this piece, unfortunately. After all of that carving around, digging around like a dentist, this is all we're going to get. There's still a big chunk of sand in the middle of it there. I'm hoping that's not too much of an issue. But yeah, we'll give this a quick weigh. Let's just have a quick look here. Alright, well that's actually much greater than I thought. I thought it'd be about 2 carats at this point, but it's almost 3, 2.8. So there's still a lot of potential in this piece. Zoom back in. Can actually chuck some water on it now that we've weighed it. Right, so that's almost 3 carats of pretty good material. Big sand spot still, that's a bit of an unknown. It could go in pretty deep. Well, I might actually try to salvage two pieces for an earring maybe out of this and just cut it straight down the guts here and then try to wear out that sand. I reckon that might be my best bet. So we might end up with 2, I don't know, a bit under 1 carat 1 carat stones by the time I shape them into a reasonable shape. But even in this really complicated piece, it was really good to be proven correct. So I tried to make a cut that would save as much material as possible, because losing carats is never fun. And I said that that sandbar might carry all the way through, and it did. So this is the piece that was attached here. But in between, I just shoved my fingernail in there, that really dirty looking one there. Shoved him in there, and bam, it just popped off. And that's because there was just a bit of sand, a thin layer of sand between the two. So I wouldn't have been able to get anything out of this. There's a nice little point here that's got a bit of colour, but we're talking very little. Apart from that, another small chip came off it. And this is the big piece off the bottom, which is basically just sand. There's nothing salvageable in that. There's a tiny glitter of colour along one edge, but that's about it. So yeah, after all of that, this incredible sandy nightmare turned into a 3-carat rub. Bit under 3-carat rub. The next step is going to be working out what I do with this, which might take some thinking. But that'll be for another video, I reckon, and I don't know. I might have to look at it and think about this shape a little bit to decide what to do with that sand. And maybe it'll be carved into something, because it's got a very uneven kind of surface here, so getting a pair of earrings out of it will also be pretty tough. But I think that's the most likely thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut that off and then just get some nice little earrings out of that. So yeah, I don't know. If you've got any other comments, leave them, well, any other ideas, leave them in the comments section. But apart from that, I'm going to head off and we will look at the next piece. Got to keep churning through them. Hopefully we have a bit more luck in the next one. Catch up.